Welcome back to another one, guys. You know who I am, Howard, your host of the Eyewear Department. We're still in MIDO. This is the third and final day that I will be at the show, and we're making our way back into the venue today. Here's the sign that everybody takes a photo of. Literally, I would say at least half of the people take a photo of that sign.
Who is Woody's and why are there stickers everywhere?
Anyways, this Woody's company, they had stickers everywhere, literally. Which makes me think, I think I want to start putting stickers everywhere too.
Here's the guys that put the stickers everywhere.
Anyways, this is Woody's. I find it fascinating when there's mirrors at shows. I don't know why. They're always everywhere, but anyways, I really enjoy seeing cool booths. It's a little bit different and it gives you an idea of what the collection is going to be about. And so I like to see how they set it up and the vibe that they have. Right? Like everybody makes it very different. I like this one because it kind of gave me like a Miami feel. This one, I don't know much about all these brands, but like, for instance, this one, you know that it's going to be a minimalistic brand. It's going to be very clean lines, right? Well, I mean, that's what I would assume looking at their booth. This one felt, I don't know where the brand is from, but it felt very European-y. European-y. Is that a word? I don't know. Anyways, this one was nice because it was kind of like a garden, what do you call it? A greenhouse. But I was watching them inside and I was like, I'm pretty sure they're sweating because I was outside and I was pretty hot. I'm pretty sure there's like no air circulation there. This is Mazzucchelli, the famous acetate company. You can't really see anything from the outside. Everything is all booths. This is a popular brand, IC Berlin. Surprisingly, their booth at MIDO is pretty small. I thought it would be much bigger. This one's a cool one too. Kind of gives me the vibe of like a cool bar, right? With that color palette, with that blue and the gold trim. This one was cool too. I like how they used the reds and the pinks together. I don't know if you saw that picture in the back, but the picture in the back was pretty funny. And then we have things like this Yell. I mean, you can tell that it's going to be a little bit more out there, a little bit more, what would you call it? A little bit more out there, right? I like seeing technical drawings like this on people's walls. I think it's cool. It shows that things were designed intentionally, not just thrown together like a lot of the big box mass market stuff that we see these days. And then we have things like this that are a little bit more eco-friendly, recycled materials. I think that was one of the trends that I saw there. A lot of recycled materials and stuff like that. One thing that I want to note is, so most people generally don't care if you take videos of their booth and frames and stuff like that. Some of them flat out tell you no. And I'm like, cool, okay, no skin off my back, but why would you put this beautiful booth together and then not let anybody take photos of it? I don't know. So this brand was actually really cool. I actually didn't get time to speak to the gentleman because he was super busy, but it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was made out of titanium and it was super thick, multi-layered, very different. It gave me the kind of vibes of like a stone, ish vibe with textures and stuff like that. And I thought it was really cool. I was hoping to speak to him, but I mean, he was super busy, which is good for him, right? At the end of the day, that's what we want at any trade show. Yeah, like look at that texture. Super cool. So generally, people don't care if you pick up their frames and look at it like this. Some do. Like for instance, Kazal, they have all of their frames locked up. It's like on a chain. And I'm assuming that they've had stolen frames before in the past, and that's why they do it. But generally, people will have a few pieces out for you to take a look. If you want to see the rest of the collection, you would have to sit down with one of their reps. This is the Corso Como collaboration that this brand did. The frames were relatively simple, and then they had the Corso Como pattern mirror on the front of the lenses. I thought it was pretty cool. So even in this section, I can't remember what it was called, but there's another video that I did, a walking tour of this whole section. These ones are the smaller creator. Okay, I shouldn't say small because some of them are huge companies, but they are the more independent brands that are a little bit more focused on design rather than just branding. And so you'll find a lot of cool stuff like this. Even going through here, some people are like, oh, no photos, no photos. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. But other people are welcoming you in. But I mean, if I were exhibiting here and somebody wanted to take photos, I would encourage them and I would thank them. But hey, you can conduct your business however you want. Like some of these, if you look at it, the thickness of the material, super cool. This booth gave me a little bit of that Rimowa vibe, but with cooler eyewear. But they were doing the same thing. Like they had their acetates were a little bit thicker. They were super friendly. They gave me a thumbs up to film, and I was like, cool. Yeah, I like their booth. And this one was interesting. They had that light on top that was spinning, and it had different logos and stuff like that. I thought it was pretty cool. And you can't see, but there's actually a gentleman standing beside me. We must have been standing there for like 5 minutes just watching that frame turn, and we were both like mesmerized. So this is an interesting part. They have basically a message board where I don't know what those words on top are because they're in Italian, but it's basically a message board for job opportunities. So it's like a sticky note version of LinkedIn. And so there was all these descriptions of different positions available, and I guess you could take a picture of them and reach out to them. This is the Somo booth. And then here is another booth. I find goggles, like snowboard goggles, interesting. It's not a huge market in the eyewear industry, but I mean, I think there's a lot of potential for it. Another thing that I enjoy is wood, when they incorporate wood into their displays. So this was interesting as well. It's actually a huge mirror on the ceiling. And so I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to be real artsy. I'm going to walk down this long path while putting my camera up, only to find out that it makes me extremely dizzy. But I do it for you guys. In the name of YouTube. And I nearly run into people, couches, and people are staring at me because I think I'm crazy. They think I'm crazy, but I'm walking and doing this and I'm thinking I'm crazy. Anyway, so the photo is actually underneath my feet. And then I'm just filming upwards on a huge mirror. So now this is upside down, and yeah, so now you can see the photo on the ground. Anyway, so I kind of wanted to give you guys a walkthrough. Again, this is another part of the video series. I don't know if I would call it a vlog. It's more of a montage of all the video that I took. So this is the For Art's Sake booth. It's both For Art's Sake and Esmont on the side. For Art's Sake always has cool booths. Their attention to detail is very high. They know what people want to see. So their booth is actually really cool. It's actually a huge trailer. It's a pack and fold trailer, basically. It squeezes down into a smaller space so that they can actually tow it.
But the application is really good.
This is me. And she went where I think it was Giannis that was holding
I'm not sure.
the gimbal, and he was testing it out.
Now it's like tracking Steven's face. So basically,
I don't even know how he made it rock, because gimbals generally don't rock like that. Anyways, this is the Esmont area. Those chairs are super cool. So, I mean, these are the frames. The attention to detail is like crazy on them. But one thing that For Art's Sake and Esmont, Yanis and Shiwen do really well is they execute concepts really well. When you're sitting there, you don't need to, nobody has to explain to you what you're looking at, because you know exactly how it feels. And then right before dinner, this is me at Duomo taking pictures and videos and doing the touristy thing. This is I mean, it's beautiful to see, but it's a tourist trap. There's tons of pickpockets and stuff like that. This is a shoe store in the area. And then we had to get Chinese food because we were both homesick. I love Italian food, but after 3-4 days of just eating Italian food, you gotta have some home style cooking. Usually I get noodles or soups and stuff like that. And then I went for a night stroll through the city. It's so foreign to me to see this kind of architecture and like cobblestone roads for me. Living in North America, we don't see things like this. The history is so deep in Italy, not just Italy, but Europe in general, that it seems like a movie set for me. You know what I mean? So that truck, I don't know what he was doing, but the two of us were just staring at each other for absolutely no reason. He must have been stopped there. He was stopping traffic for like 30 seconds. Anyways, this is the central station. They have this huge pyramid in the middle of an upside down pyramid, and it lights up at night. During the day, you can't even see it, or you don't notice it, rather. So on the side of the central station, on both sides of the central station, on one side there's a food court market, and I have a walking tour of it on the YouTube channel as well. You can check that out. This is a sandwich shop on the other side, on the east side. And there was all those people working there. One guy spoke English really well. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what was good. I just basically asked him to give me the most popular one, and that's what he gave me. And here she is making it. I don't know if they make their own bread or if they, I don't know anything about the place. All I knew was it was open and it was late and I was hungry. So it fit the bill. Anyway, I think she felt uncomfortable because I was videoing it, but I didn't care. No, not that I didn't care. They don't care because this place is really popular. I can't remember the name right now, but it's really popular, and on like Google Maps and stuff like that, there's tons of photos. And so I knew that the sandwiches would be good. I just didn't know which one to get. But anyways, I'll show you kind of what it looks like after, but it was tasty. The bread was super crunchy on the outside, and the inside was really good. It was tender. And I was so hungry that I was walking back to the hotel and eating it, and I just looked like an absolute slob. I could feel the sauce all in my beard, and I did not care one bit. Anyways, I can't remember how much it was, but it was really big. And at the time, I was thinking, oh, that's really good value for what it is and how big it is and how good it tastes versus how many euros I paid for it. That was me trying to flex my Italian, which is terrible. Anyways, check that out. Oof. This is the first bite. Second bite. I actually needed 2 hands to eat that. Anyways, this is the next morning at the central station, getting ready to leave back to Malpensa airport. I just caught the train. Usually everything that goes to Malpensa or what is it called? Rofiera is on the very left side. So you got to go all the way to the left, and I don't know if those are the ones that just go northbound, but. And then this area always has like an art installation. It's the area in between the parking garage and like where you start to check in and stuff like that. Last time I think that it was a Andy Warhol exhibit last year. Anyways, this is me getting onto the plane. And we're taking off. I was so, what's the word? I had a difficult time sitting still on the plane. I don't know how many times I got up because I was getting restless. Restless. That's the word. I was getting real restless on the plane. And then they gave us this, it's kind of like a McDonald's, like, I don't even know what it's called. Those little hot pies. No joke, I could have eaten like 14 of them, but they only gave us one. I really enjoy being on planes, being able to see like down to the horizon like that. It gives us a sense of how small we are in this world and how big the world is. Our lives are so busy and we get so caught up in everything, but as soon as you get on a plane and you get up in the air and you look across the horizon, you're like, wow, I'm tiny. I'm a speck. I'm a speck on this earth. Even you can't even say that you're a speck. Smaller than a speck. Puts things into perspective, really. Anyways, one of my favorite things about flying is when I fly back to Toronto during the day, when I can see the city. Like, This is from the west looking towards downtown, and right in the middle you can see the CN Tower. But when you're landing in Toronto and they loop around, I mean, maybe I'm weird, but I try to figure out what highways we're going over, which direction we're going, and kind of see where I've been, where I haven't been, and you know, am I crazy? Does everybody do this or just me? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Do you try to figure out where you are when you're landing in your home city? Or am I just crazy? Anyways, thank you again, guys, for following me on my journey to MIDO in Milan, Italy. Hope to see you in the next one. Who's going to New York? Hit me up. Let's meet up. Peace.